Hello everybody and welcome into this week's episode of Attraction Reaction Weekly Review. Episode 4 already, which is insane. So before we jump into anything, I just want to say if the audio is worse than usual in this video, that is because my mic is still broken. So I hope to have that fixed by next week's Attraction Reaction Weekly Review, and I hope you guys do understand. But now to go into what we will be talking about in today's video, and we have a wide variety of stuff to discuss. So we will be discussing a new maze, a new fireworks show, as well as a new holiday event. So a wide variety of stuff to discuss, and let's jump right into it. And now, kicking off this week's episode of Attraction Reaction, Movie Park Star Festival. So Movie Park Star Festival opened up on January 30th, and which was Saturday, and I really did enjoy this new addition, sort of holiday event to the park. So for one, we do not see that many holiday events in the Roblox theme park community revolving around Valentine's Day, so it's really cool to see one at Movie Park. And so as usual, let's jump into the good. So first off, the interactivity is great, as always with Movie Park. It's got some awesome photo ops, as throughout the park you sort of have these famous movie couples, which I think is a really, really cool concept. And as I've been saying with Movie Land and Movie Park, I really like how both are embracing how they are a movie park and sort of taking these IPs from all these different movies and franchises and television shows and all that type of stuff and embracing it in their park. And especially I can see that here, where you have a Lois Lane and Superman, you have a Tarzan and Jane, and you have a whole bunch of different characters to have some awesome photo ops with. It also acts sort of as a scavenger hunt throughout the park. So you have to sort of find all of these different characters which are in their either respective lands, if they do have a land that goes with their character, or just on the main street of the park. So now I really liked how the characters were moving, because it did give you that sort of sense that they were actual real characters that you were interacting with, instead of sort of how they have their sort of wax museum area. It's not like that. The characters actually bob up and down as if they are actually moving, which I think is a really, really cool interactivity aspect, as well as an aspect to give you more of a realistic feel. I also love the decorations around the park with the hearts sort of lining each street, and I thought that was really, really nice. And then it also added a new fireworks show to the park, which I will discuss later in this video as its own separate attraction. But I thought that was really, really cool to add sort of a fireworks show with the event. So that definitely added a cool little aspect to that. And then finally, I really, really liked how they utilized the purple and pink lighting throughout the park at night, which gave it that Valentine's aspect and really immerses the guest in the festival, I think. But now, moving on to the bad, I definitely think they could have included a meet and greet area in the other two lands that are off the main server, which is the Jungle Adventure and the Wild West section. But it is understandable why they did, since they are, I mean, they're connected to the park, but they're separate, so it wouldn't feel sort of right. But I definitely think they could have sort of put something in the Wild West section, which they didn't really have a character to represent the Wild West section. Unlike with the Jungle Adventure section outside of the main area, they did have Tarzan and Jane, but there was nothing for the Wild West section. So really, my bads with this are just nitpicks, because this was overall a really, really good event. The other thing, I would just like to see them do a parade at some point, but again, that's more of a nitpick. Overall, I really, really enjoyed this event. It was something unique. It was something I really did not see before. And I'm actually going to start ranking our attractions differently on this show. So I'm going to start with the uniqueness. Was it different than stuff that we've seen at other parks? Then I'm going to rank the creativity, which was it something that added to the park that we haven't seen from the park or from the group itself? Then the entertainment. Was I entertained? Did I enjoy my experience? And then the quality. Was it top-notch quality or was it low quality? And could you tell? So overall for this event, uniqueness, 9 out of 10. Really, really unique. I haven't seen anything like this on Roblox. Creativity. The creativity is really good. I haven't seen anything like this from Movie Park, and I think it definitely adds something to the park. Entertainment, 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed walking around to each area. It definitely, as I was saying, is something unique we haven't seen before. But again, it's not like a full-on ride, so it's not going to be up in that 9 or 8 range, but still 7 out of 10. Really, really good. And quality, 9 out of 10, as usual with Movie Park. I really enjoyed the quality. So overall, that rounds out to be an overall score of 8.4 out of 10 for Movie Park's Love Festival. And now, continuing with the Movie Park trend, we have Movie Park's Princess Fantasy in the Sky firework show, which opened on January 31st, last Sunday. And this is a new show that is coinciding with their sort of love festival which is really, really cool. So to start out with the good, as always, the fireworks and lighting effects are very good. They're pretty standard for Roblox quality, but they were pretty good. The colors were very vibrant, and they definitely went well with each section and princess/movie character that they mentioned or was referenced. I really also enjoyed hearing the different songs from Pocahontas and Frozen and Moana that were featured throughout the show. That was really, really cool. I also liked seeing sort of this sparkly color on the Hollywood sign at the beginning and at the end of the show. That was awesome. And I really did like how they sort of blended and transitioned each song from each movie that they mentioned throughout the show. But now, moving on to the bad, it's definitely lacking the projections and graphics, which it definitely makes the show less gripping. The last show, or the main show that they have at Movie Park, is definitely more entertaining with those graphics/projections. And there's really not enough firework graphics to make up for that. And that definitely leads into my next thing. It's only about 5 minutes long. It's definitely reasonable since it's only a seasonal show, but it doesn't pack enough into it to be something that's like, hey, let's go check it out, only 5 minutes. It's nothing that's too grand, I don't think. And there's definitely not enough firework graphics, and there's none that really jump out at you. There's none that are really big, and it's definitely not as gripping of a show as their main show. And overall, it's just a very middle-of-the-road show. It's sort of like, it doesn't have much to hate. It doesn't have much to love about it. So overall, the uniqueness of the show, still a 5 out of 10. I really like the concept of having all the princesses in one show. The creativity, 5 out of 10. Again, having the princesses, we haven't seen a show like that at Movie Park yet. The entertainment, 3 out of 10. I wasn't super entertained. The graphics weren't very gripping. And then the quality, 5 out of 10. It's very middle-of-the-road quality for a Roblox show. So overall, my overall score for Movie Park's Princess Fantasy in the Sky Fireworks Show is a 4.5 out of 10. I definitely think if you do like princesses, it's really cool to hear the songs. But if you're not too big into princesses, you can definitely skip it. And now, moving on to our final attraction to discuss this week, that is Arx Haunt's Beetlejuice Halloween Horror Nights 30 maze. So the Beetlejuice maze opened up on January 26th last week, and to start out with the good, I definitely enjoyed the realism. Really, really good in this maze. It's one of the most realistic mazes on a Roblox, actually, that I've seen, which utilizes their own style, which works really, really well. It definitely utilized color and lighting in like strategic, creative, vibrant and appealing ways, which puts light on each showroom, which in some cases even, like when I was watching the actual POV of the Beetlejuice maze, such as in the living room scene, there is not lighting like that in the real life maze. So in the real life maze, the light was actually really dull. I'm not going to show anything because I don't think filming was allowed on this maze, but I found one POV on YouTube. But the light was really dull in the real life. And in this maze, they really used light in a way that really put light onto the characters and onto the scene in a gripping and sort of way that integrated each Beetlejuice color from the logos and stuff. I know that's a little out there for stuff to be discussing, but I'm into film and all that type of stuff, so I really look for that type of stuff. As I was saying, the maze really pops out with color and creativity. I really liked all of that, especially when you're walking into that sort of, I forget if it's the Inferno room, I think is what it's called. I really liked that facade. I thought that was really, really cool. I also enjoyed how they sort of added on to scenes. Kind of like I was saying with the lighting, but also, especially in the dinner table scene, where they added people dangling above in the seats, which from the POV, I did not see that. So I thought that was a really, really cool added on thing, and it definitely added to the maze experience for me. I also enjoyed the end sequence / scene, which they added to the maze, which I don't think is in the real life maze from what I saw in the POV, which adds the character, I don't know the character's name, I haven't seen Beetlejuice in a while, but it's Winona Ryder's character, where she's sort of floating above the stairs in the movie, which I think was a really, really cool scene to add. And to some people, it's definitely an iconic scene. So that was really, really cool. So now moving on to the bad, it cut out this one scene of the snake head monster. I don't think there's a specific name, but it jumps out in the real maze. Unless I missed it, I don't think I did, but it jumps out at you. So they missed that, which is definitely a big part of the maze reveal at the end. But that's definitely not too bad since there was a lot of stuff in the maze that I really, really liked. And overall, that one scene was slightly changed, but it didn't really affect the overall maze, as I was saying. It just definitely missed that big revealing scene. The other problem, the maze wasn't overall scary to me, but I personally don't find the movie that scary. I find it more of a comedic and sort of like horrific movie in a way that it's just sort of like creepy and sort of like unsettling. But I never really found the movie that scary, and I never found the real life maze from the POV anything that was really scary, and I didn't really find anything scary in this maze really. It's mainly just more or less an homage to the Beetlejuice movie. And to me, Beetlejuice as a character isn't that scary. I think he's more of just a cool character. And it's definitely not a hit on the maze, since the maze is just trying to recreate but also add on to the real life maze. But it definitely does ruin the experience when it's really not that scary to me compared to some other Roblox mazes. It also did not include these swirly icons on the spinning tunnel, which in real life, in my opinion, it kind of adds on a sense of uniqueness to that scene, because the majority of those sort of swirling, I forget what you call them, but like the swirling rooms in the mazes, majority of them don't really have anything on them except that sort of swirly effect. So to add those smaller swirling icons onto there, I think it would have added to something. But again, I think that's more of a nitpick. So from there's a lot of stuff to love in this maze. I definitely think everybody should go check this one out. And for accuracy, 8.8 out of 10. It's almost perfect up there with accuracy. Creativity, 9 out of 10. They definitely are creative with the lighting, with their style, with accuracy, with all of that. And I only added in the accuracy section just because uniqueness is not really what they're going for. So with these attractions that are recreating real-life attractions, I will replace uniqueness with accuracy. And then entertainment, 8.3 out of 10. I was really, really entertained with this maze. Pointing out scenes that I remembered from the movie that I watched about 2 years ago. Thought that was cool, and I also just enjoyed seeing a brand new maze. Quality, 9.2 out of 10. This is one of the most top-notch quality mazes I have seen on Roblox, probably in a while. And overall, that gives it this maze an overall score of 8.8 out of 10. Great job to Arx Haunts, and I cannot wait to see what you guys do in the future. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Attraction Reaction Weekly Review. And tell me if there's any attractions that I missed, as always. I will definitely want to discuss them next week if there was anything I missed. And we have Jurassic Coaster next week, so I'm super excited to discuss that next Monday, so definitely be here for that. And give me your thoughts on all these attractions down in the comment section below, as always. And I hope you all have an amazing day.